Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a Law DSS tutorial, but first off, if you could just take a second to hit the subscribe button down below, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so today I'm going to take you through every DSS transition and how to use them in matches. I'm also going to show you what the frames are for those moves, with and without DSS on block, as well as a couple on hit, as they're important to know, but more on that later. So first off, to get into DSS manually, all you have to do is hit down 1+2. Then, once you're in DSS, you have a lot of different options, which is what you're seeing now. Most of the time when you want to use Law's DSS, it's better to transition into DSS from certain moves and strings. The way you do this most of the time is by inputting a move, let's say Law's forward 4-3 for example, and then buffering back forward to get into DSS. One thing to keep in mind when you're learning these transitions is to press the attack buttons first before doing the back forward buffer. If you start doing the back forward buffer in between the attack buttons, the DSS will not come out, so don't do this. Okay, so forward 4-3 DSS is one that you'll definitely want to know. It's probably the most commonly used DSS transition because you'll need to use it to pressure your opponent, mix them up, and most importantly, you'll need to use this on most of Law's combo enders for a lot of vital extra damage. First off, forward 4-3 on its own is -14 on block, which is pretty bad frame-wise. But if you transition into DSS, it becomes +8 on block with the perfect DSS, which is a huge difference. The way you do this transition is as follows. The input for the DSS transition is forward 4-3, back forward. You'll want to time these inputs. Press forward 4-3 and then back forward at the same times the kicks are hitting. Back as the first kick hits and then forward as the second kick hits. You should see Law dance around a bit. This is his dragon fake step. Now what I want you to do is press forward 4-3-4. You see that third kick? You need to remember that. Now go back to doing forward 4-3 back forward in the way I showed you. But now add one more forward just before that third kick would have landed as if you were doing forward 4-3-4. If you did this correctly, you should see Law shimmy his shoulders. Now, okay, if you're learning this for the first time, I would just time the last forward at the same time that third kick would have landed from the forward 4-3-4. You will still get the DSS transition. However, if you want the most frames out of this, then time the last forward just before that last third kick would have landed from forward 4-3-4. Okay, so if you're trying to do Law's forward 4 legend kick after forward 4-3 DSS, like for his combo enders, you have to do something slightly different. Do exactly as I said before, but instead of the final forward input for DSS, just do forward 4 with the same timing I showed you before. For DSS moves that already have a forward input in them, you can actually use that move as the last forward input to transition into DSS. So instead of the input being forward 4-3 back forward 4, it's actually forward 4-3 back forward 4. And this is the same for all DSS moves that already have a forward input in them, like forward 1, forward 2 or forward 3 for his wall combo. However, if you want to do a move like DSS 3 or DSS 2 or DSS 1, you have to do the whole DSS input. So for forward 4-3 DSS, the input becomes forward 4-3 back forward neutral 1, or forward 4-3 back forward neutral 2. And this goes for any DSS move that doesn't have a forward input in them. Forward 4-3-4. On its own, this move is -6 on block, and +8 with a perfect DSS. And is most useful after a wall bounce or combo screw. This is exactly the same as the forward 4-3 DSS input, but move everything forward by one move, so press back when the second kick lands, forward when the third kick lands, and forward again just before a fourth kick would have landed. This is by far the hardest DSS transition. While standing 4 on its own is -4 on block and +7 with perfect DSS. This is most useful when used as a while standing 4 punish into big frames. The way you do this transition is as soon as you let go of down and press 4, immediately press back forward very quickly and then the last forward slightly later. Not in the same rhythm as the quick back forward. This is Law's hardest DSS transition, as I said before, so don't worry if you don't get it first try or the first few attempts. Just remember to do the first back forward super quick and then the last forward slightly later. This one will take some practice, so just be patient and you will get it down. This DSS transition is actually super good for counter hits, by the way, so if you really want to test your DSS execution, try comboing counter hit while standing 4 DSS 3+4-4. This is very difficult and it very rarely happens online, but if you want to test yourself, this is the thing to do. Back 2-3-4, otherwise known as Junkyard, is -7 on block and +6 on block with the DSS transition. Mostly this is used in combos, as most people will parry the low 3, although you can delay the low 3 to mix up your timing. The way you'll want to do this is pretty much the same way you do forward 4-3 DSS or forward 4-3-4 DSS. Press back on the second hit, forward on the third hit, and one more forward at the time a fourth attack would have landed. Or just forward 4 for a legend kick or forward 3 for the power crush wall bounce. Again, just swap the last forward of the DSS transition for DSS attacks that already have a forward input in them. You will need to know the Junkyard DSS transition for this combo ender for 3+4-4 and also for Law's Magic 4 combo. This is where things start to get much easier. While standing 3 is +2 on block and +18 on block with a perfect DSS. This is really useful at the wall to create pressure if you combine it with a fast 2-1 after DSS, or a DSS 1+3 or DSS 2+4 grab. For this transition, all you have to do is press forward once after you input while standing 3. This one's pretty easy to get down, and if you've learnt the DSS transitions I've shown you so far, this one will be a piece of cake. Just practice the timing until you start to get +15 frames or higher on block. For the next DSS transitions, they are a lot simpler and you'll only need to input back forward to go into DSS. Also, there isn't really any timing to these transitions as they have fixed frames on transition. While standing 1. While standing 1 is -7 on block and with DSS it's -4. While standing 1-2 is -9 on block and +4 with DSS. This transition isn't that great to be honest, and is only really useful for people that don't duck the second hit of while standing 1-2, and for mental frames if you only do while standing 1 DSS. To do this, you only need to input back forward to get DSS. So for example, you do while standing 1-2, then back forward, and you're in DSS. There is no timing involved and you will always be at +4, no more, no less. And for while standing 1, it's the same. Just while standing 1, back forward to go into DSS. And these next transitions work exactly the same way. These aren't great, but can be useful if you use it as a bait for jabs, and then do the new DSS rage drive that Law got given in patch 5.1. Sidestep 2 automatically transitions into DSS with no back forward input. And last but not least, the Parry DSS input is back 1 plus 3 or back 2 plus 4 followed by back forward. You can then follow up with a guaranteed 1 forward 4. And that wraps up this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Let me know in the comments if you're still not sure about something or if there's something I missed out. And also, let me know if there are any other tutorial videos you would like to see in the future. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.